So you are done with all your work, you are free now, and you have that burning desire to create a game. You come to your room, you switched on all your devices, you sat down happily to create something, you created a new game project, and then things went blank. You have no idea to create a game. You are just blank. If that happens to you, then stay tuned. I'm Shivam Pandey, you're watching The Techpreneurs, and let's get into the video. Everything starts with a good idea. If you have no idea, then you won't start. And as a creator, as a developer, many times we hit something that is known as a creative block. And that is basically when we want to create something but we ran out of ideas and we really don't know what to create next. It happens to me many times, especially when I'm starting a new project, and I have searched many a times how to overcome this thing, and I have jotted down some points that would help you too to overcome this thing. Number 1 is think reverse. Instead of thinking in the forward direction, try to go back and think in the reverse direction. Instead of trying to think all the points and all the attributes that you actually want in your next game, try to think all those things that you do not want in your game. Like, you do not want your game to be an FPS game, you do not want your game to be 3D game, you do not want your character to jump in your game, you do not want an antagonist in your game, you do not want a story in your game, you do not want a puzzle platformer. And this way, remove all the points that you do not want your game into the paper so that you are left with only those points that you actually need in your game, and then you have very few points and attributes to think and come up with a new game idea. Second point, try to make things indirect. Put an apple in the bag. Boring. Throw stones on the apple so that they fall into the bag. Yeah, that looks exciting. Next, make an idea journal or a simple journal. We only think for ideas when we have completed a game and we want to start creating a new game. But that's not the only time when we get ideas. Ideas are just everywhere and comes to mind in every point of time. So instead of just thinking ideas at the start of any project, why don't we write a journal in which we jot down our ideas each day? No matter how silly or how small an idea we get, we just have to pick a pen and write that idea into the journal. So when we are in need of that idea, then we can pick up the journal, we can just flip its pages and surely we'll get a perfect idea for our next game. It's very important to keep control of your ideas because your ideas are volatile. Every day you get great ideas, and if you are not capturing and not writing those ideas into something, then you are not utilizing your fullest potential. Next is break old conventions. Why always create games with the same rules? Why not have a platformer in which the player can't jump? Why is death always punishing? Why can't we create a game in which the player can't die? And the ultimate goal of the game is to make that player dead. Why should we always be the hero of the game? Make a game in which you are actually the villain of that game. Why we always play as shooters? Why can't we play as guns or even as bullets? So the main point is break old rules and conventions and try to create your own new rules because that's your game, you can do anything with it. The next point is sometimes instead of giving your imaginations the whole freedom to go and explore, if we limit our imaginations by cutting out various things, then it can actually create some cool game concepts. Instead of thinking for a 3D exploration open world game, try to think of a game with much more limitations. It might be a 2D game, it might be a game in which you are stuck, it might be a game when you can't control your player, it might be a game when you can't shoot much bullets, it might be the game in which you are losing health with each passing second, and by limiting your imagination, some cool concept might come out. Next point is, at the end of the day, games are piece of arts and you can use that to express your feelings. Instead of focusing on the gameplay aspect, you can also focus on the creative aspects of game design. Try to create a game related to the things that is happening in your real life. Are you sad? Are you happy? Are you excited? Are you motivated? Are you demotivated? Do you have a fight with somebody? Did you lost a friend? Did somebody scolded you? Are you in love with somebody? Or anything that is happening in your life, just think about that thing and see how can you replicate that into a game. The next point is try creating a game from the thoughts that you appreciate. Every day through social media or through YouTube or any other platform, we come across many beautiful quotes or sayings that we like and we save that in our phone's gallery. So why not keep that quote as a theme and try to create a game around that theme? You can create a game themed move in silence, just say checkmate. Make a wish tonight, maybe miracle is getting bored. Don't work for money, work for freedom. Find your why. Or something like the game is won inside the mind. And there's a lot of sayings and quotes that we adore, that we like, and we can treat them as a game jam theme and try to create a game around them. Next point, I came across this point in a video and I liked that point very much. It says that when you can't think of one idea, try to think of 10 ideas. And that might look a bit stupid, but yeah, that works really well. Instead of trying to think for an idea that you want for your next game, try to think of 10 ideas that you need for your 10 upcoming games. And by this way, if you expand your horizon in that manner and come up with at least 5 ideas, then you can choose the best one of them and create a game according to that idea. The next point is ideas comes from curiosity. Don't just look at things and take them for granted and move on. If you want to get ideas, try to question things. Why is gravity always pulling us down? What if gravity starts pulling us in the upward direction? Why is the earth round? What if we create a flat earth? Why do we have only 3 dimensions? What if we work in 4th dimension or in the 5th dimension? And by this way, you can look at things by a different perspective and explore it to come up with some different new idea. Next point is try to establish relation among different words and try to create an idea from that relation. Once in an interview, Mr. Beast was asked how he come up with new ideas for his new videos. And he answered, I take a dictionary, I come up with a random page, and then I come up with a random word from that random page, and from that random word I try to think for a new video idea. And why just for videos? You can use this thing to create new games, and maybe one day you can be the Mr. Beast of gaming industry. Who knows? Next point is be creative, and by that I mean not just focusing on the creative aspect of the game dev, but creativity in general. If you want new ideas for your game, then switch off your computer and try to create new things. You can do sketching, you can do painting, you can learn to play a new song, you can try to create your own music, you can pick your camera, go outside and snap some great pictures. You can try to create a new story, you can try to compose a new poem. Anything related or non-related to game development that increases your creativity, if you do that thing, that surely you are coming up with new ideas and you can correlate that thing and put that creative aspect of that thing into your game. You can create a game in which you create music. You can create a game in which the player follows a certain rhyme scheme. You can create a game in which you have to sketch something. You can create a game when you have to paint something. And the list goes on. No matter you are doing something related to game development or any other field, as long as you are creating something, as long as you are improving your creative strength, then you are coming up with new ideas. Next point is, there's a quote that says, if you do what you are doing, then you will get what you are getting. So if you are following the same routine day in and day out, and then you are thinking that somehow you'll get a new idea, then I fear that you won't get any idea. If you're not getting any ideas, if you're running out of ideas, that means that there is no change in your life. Just try to change the environment around you. Just go outside, explore, do new things, learn new stuff, gain new experiences, meet new people, try to interact with them. And if you do all these things, then you will gain a different experience, a new experience in your life. And when you sit down to look for an idea, then you have tens and thousands of different ideas popping out of your head, just waiting for you to convert them into a new game. The next point is, if you are not coming up with your own ideas, try to read and try to understand others' ideas. For that, you can read books of different authors, you can watch movies, you can watch short films, you can watch documentaries, maybe you can play games of other developers. Don't just care about your own ideas, but try to study and try to learn from other person's idea. And that would give you a whole new perspective of life and surely some new ideas. And finally, the last point is, if you're not getting any ideas, then don't stop there. Just try to build anything. Just throw some squares, some cubes, some circles into the scene and try to come up with something new. Try to build things, no matter how bad or how simple that thing is. Just try to create anything. Just build something, prototype it. If it's fun, then keep it. If it's not fun, then repeat the process. Build something new. Check if it is fun or not. Yes, keep it. No, then repeat the whole process. You won't get success at the first build, but if you try to repeat this process, then eventually you'll find something which would be worth to work on. And always remember, Thomas Alva Edison failed for 999 prototype that gave us the light bulb. So just work on something, build something, evaluate it, repeat the process, and eventually you'll find that idea that you are looking for. So that's it for today. If you liked the video, consider subscribing and hitting the like button. Also make sure to press the bell icon so that you are notified each time I post a new video. You can join my Discord server, the link is in the description. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, dream big, hustle hard, and keep watching The Techpreneurs. Bye.